Thank you for attending my presentation on this hitherto never addressed highly controversial subject, orthodontic jaw wiring for the control of compulsive eating, or simply OJW. OJW is a treatment modality for carefully selected patients who are obese or heading towards obesity that can help them to start regaining control over their compulsive eating habits with their potentially grave consequences. At the outset, OJW may seem extreme. However, I can say with confidence that the AAO, the ADA, the Greater New York Dental Meeting, and the IOC in Paris, France. If you have any questions, I would welcome you to write them down, add an email address, and pass them forward to me. Sometimes you have to take an unpopular position in order to do the right thing. Having provided this service for the past 10 years, I can say with confidence that it is safe and effective under the protocol I'm going to present today. Under this protocol, the doctor is responsible for maintaining the health of the TMJ, dentition, and gingiva, while the patient is responsible for losing weight by dint of their passion, dedication, and adherence to a long-term, low-calorie liquid diet. I now welcome your attention as I'm going to proceed rather rapidly in the short amount of time that I have. My thesis is that it is our responsibility as part of the healthcare team to provide our expertise to the overweight heading towards obesity. OJW requires careful selection of patients who are obese as diagnosed by their physician, and it will provide you with a medical dental history and informed consent, as well as a release from their physician to begin a long-term, low-calorie liquid diet. It requires the patient to choose a weight goal and that you wire their jaws apart, providing an interclusal laxity of about 2 to 3 millimeters in all directions, a position in which they will remain for 5 weeks until they release the wiring for 5 days and return to your office for examination and rewiring. This alternating wiring, rest, rewiring method is repeated until the patient achieves their weight goal or requests that you remove the appliance. It is my contention that it is a non-invasive, conservative approach to weight control when safety, effectiveness, side effects, and mortality rate, which is 0, are taken into consideration. I would like to introduce to you a new subspecies of mankind, Hyperphagia compulsivus. He is our obese man of today. Obesity is legion, an epidemic, and recognized as a precursor to a host of serious illnesses and other comorbidities which attend it, many of which have oral manifestations and grave consequences. OJW is a fixed appliance we dental professionals have that can help the obese regain control of their eating habits. Here are some of those potentially grave consequences I mentioned before. They include type 2 diabetes, hypertension, depression, sleep apnea, stroke, knee and hip joint dysfunction, coronary heart disease, and you can read a few more on your own. And here's 15 more, including low back pain, psychosocial problems, tiredness. Item number 17 was reported on in an article in the OJW in the year 2009, unexpected mandibular advancement post-surgically. How was obesity measured? By the body mass index, or BMI, which is the patient's weight in kilograms divided by the height in meters squared. There is a non-metric equivalent that is even more familiar. BMI of 18 to 24 is normal, 25 to 29 overweight, 30 to 35 obese, and a male, 5 foot 10 inches tall, weighing 240, and a female, 5 foot 4 inches, weighing 200 pounds, would have a BMI both of 34. At 35 to 39 is advanced obesity, while morbid obesity is at 40 plus, in which the patient is already a candidate for surgery. The life expectancy for the overweight is 3 to 5 years less, as reported in a number of medical articles in the dental professional. As part of the healthcare team in controlling overweight was non-existent. Today, OJW, the jaws are wired apart via orthodontic brackets bonded to the premolars and canines in the weightless position, the rest position. A robust informed consent has been developed. A criteria for patient selection have been established. A protocol to address the possibility of TMJ stiffening over time has been developed and applied to 100 patients. And a research survey to assess safety and effectiveness of the carry out. Moreover, and finally, the provider's responsibility is limited to maintaining the health of the TMJ dentition and gingiva, while the patient is solely responsible for losing weight by dint of their passionate dedication and adherence to the long-term. Choosing patients to provide this service begins with information obtained from the informed consent and the medical dental form. It allows the provider to have information necessary to know about a would-be patient's health, their present weight, their weight goals, and the time they would dedicate passionately to being wired. I thought these 4 questions needed answers to, were very important. Question 21. My choice below represents how I feel about OJW for the control of weight in compulsive overeating. 70% said it's both safe and effective. Given that vomiting could lead to the taking of vomit back into your airway, leading to effects ranging from choking and possibly to death, please state your positions from the list below. 56% said, informed consent I filled out told me all I needed to know. I was warned, so I carried my wire clippers with me at all times. It's possible but highly unlikely. 28% said I carefully researched that possibility and found that no instance of its occurrence. The risk of death from surgery bothers me more. As for the safety, I have not been able to unearth a single case of grave harm coming to any patient whose jaws were wired by an oral surgeon. And the protocol I formulated for this service enhances the safety of providing it. Why did you choose OJW to begin with? 79% responded. My being overweight was causing me to be depressed. 68% said, I felt this approach might help me bring my compulsive overeating under control. 63%, I realized my excessive weight could have serious health-related consequences. 58%, I was finally able to locate a dental professional who would provide the service. Do you believe that it is the right and responsibility for dental professionals to provide this service to compulsive overeaters? Yes, said 85%. Now, consider, obesity is epidemic in the United States. Healthcare is a $2.3 trillion industry. 14% of the healthcare budget is allotted to controlling obesity. The OJW service offers dental professionals the opportunity to participate seamlessly in this segment of the healthcare industry. So, since we are uniquely empowered to provide OJW to properly selected candidates, and considering the mortality rate from bariatric surgery is almost 3 in 1,000, it's not surprising that the overweight on their way to obesity would choose OJW were it more widely available. If the ultimate effect of my work was to help just one person avoid having to undergo bypass surgery, there is the possibility, that is 1 in 300 indeed, that this person did not die. Illustrating the service by itself and combined with orthodontic treatment. The protocol. The protocol is, provider receives an inquiry requesting the service, responds with a request for informed consent, agrees to provide the service, establishes a doctor-patient relationship by telephone, which is what I do, and at the OJW appointment, examines the patient, takes records, and applies the wire. And gives patient the reminders and precautions notice. The patient removes the wiring every 5 weeks for 5 days and returns to the office for examination and rewiring.